was a letter that existed on the front of that script when they chose yearbook. If you didn't notice, the poem was titled Columbine. It was actually written by a teacher to just celebrate the memories, the relationships, the joy that students experience and should experience in high school. And it was in memory of the tragedy in Columbine. So I really struck a chord with them, and it was something that from their heart, in addition to certainly the many discussions they had with the cast, a story that they definitely wanted to tell. There's a great meaning in there. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. The other thing, on behalf of the directors and the cast, we would like to thank you for your generous donations. That was also a tradition started 3 years ago that Kelly and Christina wanted to do. It was a year where we had a pretty big hit with funds, with a lot of the extracurricular clubs at High Point, and one of them namely being the Spring Musical. So in addition to wanting to celebrate and see more performances happen on this stage, it was very important to them for this particular performance that a donation box be out there with all of the proceeds going to the Spring Musical. So all of that money that you generously donated will go into next year's musical, and we thank you for that. And we also thank you for being a wonderful audience. And now to continue on with our second performance, I am proud to introduce Alexa Saki and Nikisha Nelson.
Hi everyone, I'm Nikisha Nelson.
And I'm Alexa Saki.
And we are the directors of The Lost Elevator.
And our play takes place in the early 1960s in Topeka, Kansas, in the Robinson Hotel.
We hope you enjoy the show.
It stopped.
It stopped.
You're right, Sonny. Certainly seems to have stopped.
Operator, the car stopped.
Excuse me, the car has stopped.
Yes, I noticed it too.
The elevator stopped.
It stopped. It stopped completely.
George, the elevator stopped.
Yes, sir. It sure am stopped.
Glad we'll agreed on that.
Aren't you going to do anything about it?
I was doing all I can.
Well, it stopped. I'm in a hurry.
I was doing all I can.
The light's still on.
Well, what of that?
That means the power hasn't been cut off. How about it, George?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, sure do.
And if the power hasn't been cut off, the elevator ought to work.
But it doesn't, does it? The trouble with some people is they know too much.
Like, won't it start?
No, man.
Operator, is something the matter?
Yes, something sure am the matter.
Is there any danger?
No, man. Not yet.
Oh, I hope it isn't going to fall.
Hey, it's gonna fall.
If it's fell, we get out.
I'm asking you a direct question. Do you know what's the matter?
Yes, sir. I sure knows what ain't the matter.
Well, what is it?
What? What?
Well, you see, ladies.
Yes?
Yes?
Ladies and gentlemen, whatever the matter with this here elevator, if that this here elevator has went and stopped. That's what ain't the matter.
Annabelle,
Keep away from me.
well, if it's like that.
I don't mind saying that I'm in a hurry.
Yes, sir.
And I have an appointment with the dentist.
Yes.
And my grandchildren will be worried if I'm not home in time for lunch.
George, any idea where we are?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I can tell you that exactly.
Well, where are we?
Boss, we's right here in the Robinson building.
You read between what floors?
Said which?
Any fool would know that we're in the Robinson building. But between what floors are we?
Boss, man, why didn't y'all ask me that in the first place? I should judge we's between the 12th and the 14th floors. There ain't no 13th.
There is. And we found it.
Yes, sir.
George, could you open the 12th floor door and let us out?
No, sir. Absolutely no, sir.
Why not?
Yes, why not?
Why not?
Please, won't you let us out?
I demand that you open that door and let us out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Let us out first and make a speech afterwards.
Open that door.
ladies and gentlemen,
Open that door.
Open that door.
Boy, open that door!
ladies and gentlemen, the reason I can't open the door on the 12th floor ain't because there ain't no door on the 12th floor.
What?
That's why I can't open.
Then open the door to the 14th.
Ladies and gentlemen, there ain't no door to the 14th floor.
We got into a door, didn't we?
I distinctly remember there was a door on the 55th story where I had gone to have my horoscope cast.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here express elevator number 3.
Express.
On the express elevators, there ain't no doors between the 20th and the ground floors.
Oh, how very interesting. Now I understand why you couldn't let us out. Thank you very much.
Annabelle,
I told you once I didn't want to speak to you.
Annabelle,
You're cowardly to take advantage of this situation.
Annabelle, I'm desperate. In 5 minutes, we may both be dead.
Madam, in this book found in a washable fabricoid, selling for the small price of $3, only 50 cents down, you will find complete statistics of all elevator accidents.
Go away.
On page 113.
13 again?
Will you go away?
Where to? Where to?
Let me try that lever.
Can't do that, sir. Against the roof.
Let me try it.
And don't call me no name, so when all the ladies and gentlemen fall to the bottom of the shaft.
Don't you know any better than to monkey with machinery? Keep away from that. It might kill us all.
Annabelle, I've been chasing you for a week.
Edwin, that's not exactly news to me.
You ran away from me the other night. You wouldn't let me say a word in explanation.
There could be no explanation.
But I can explain.
Hush! Can't you see them all listening?
What do I care who's listening?
This is neither the time nor the place. Go.
Where to?
What I want to know is this. Has the elevator ever been stuck before? If so, when? How long? And what happened?
Yes, sir.
Well, how long then?
Just for trouble one.
You mean 1 whole hour?
It was longer than that, man. That means 1 GM.
It was stuck all night long?
Not quite, but it sure seemed like it.
We're going to be here together all night.
It's decent.
Look at all the chaperones.
Decent.
They're going to be here all night too.
Edwin, have you no reserve?
All night. Together. You can rest your head on my shoulder.
I don't want to rest anything on your shoulder. Go away. Go away.
Where to? I asked you that. Where to?
You know, I don't care how long we're stuck.
They nauseate me.
I do believe
to stay here a while. What's an hour, 2 hours?
In this handsome book, given away for only $3, you'll read all about the toad who got trapped inside of a rock for 1,000 years. Wow, very interesting. Show me that. Here.
Sooner or later, brother, they're going to miss us.
What?
But we don't come down. There'll be somebody to say, look here, this won't do. There was an elevator in this shop this morning.
There are 22 elevators.
Yes, sir, and the starter's gone off for his lunch.
You see? What's one elevator out of 22?
Still, never heard of an elevator getting lost before.
What do you know about it? If you hadn't gone in, the car wouldn't be overloaded, and we wouldn't be stuck.
I have an appointment with the dentist.
Better
What's the idea of fighting everybody? We'll stay here, if necessary, until they take the census.
Yes, or until they tear down the building.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. On page 87, complete census reports. On page 294, building operations in the United States.
Annabelle!
Edwin, you were so consistent.
Annabelle? Annabelle, here's my ring. You used to wear it.
Edwin, you're listening.
Here's my ring, I say! The ring you wore. Until a week ago.
This is simply fantastic. I enjoy this better than the theater.
You gave it back to me. You gave it back to me when I said I could explain. Why wouldn't you let me explain?
Couldn't we advertise that we're lost?
Say, that's not a bad idea.
I'll pay for it, too.
Lost an express elevator in the Robinson building.
If you know where you are, you're not lost.
The elevator's lost, I mean.
It isn't if we know where it is.
You'll agree something's lost, won't you?
Will I agree? Like a shot. Now what bright little boy or girl will go running to the newspaper's office and insert the gentleman's advertisement?
Huh. I didn't think of that.
No, apparently not.
Me, sir? Do you want a copy also, madam? Only $3.50.
These are these packet of egg and egg these market pop pop.
What's that? What is that?
She's talking French. The language of love.
She's talking German. Say it wieder and not so flink.
In diesem Paket habe ich eine Finish, denn ich diesen Morgen gekauft habe.
She says she's got a fish in that package. Is that right, Rintig?
Jawohl, eine Fisch an Mackerel. The fish? Is it alive?
The fish. Is it labindig? Labindig.
Himmel didn't do it yet.
I can understand that myself. She says it isn't alive. It's passed out.
Then what's she worried about? Whatever happens to us, the fish isn't going to get hurt. You're having a kind of fish.
Yes, you're all. Keep it.
Annabelle, I love you.
Listen. Just listen.
Annabelle, I love you and I don't care who knows it. The more the better.
Edwin, you embarrass me frightfully.
Annabelle, if I really believed it, that you meant it when you said you'd break our engagement.
How perfect.
Annabelle, if you really meant it.
Like Romeo and Juliet.
But you couldn't have meant it. Not without letting me say a word to explain.
Don't you take no for an answer, young man. Don't you take no for an answer.
Wouldn't somebody ring a bell?
The bell on the outside. And when you ring, it just lights up in here.